Right now, my biggest concern is for the children who have traveled from violent countries, who have run for their lives to safety as refugees and are now being separated from family members by our Border Patrol.
Right.
Just 20 some odd miles away from here in Homestead, there is a children's prison. And I'm not going to call it a temporary internment facility. I'm going to call it what it is. It is a prison. We are there every day. Today is the 135th day that we have witnessed there. People are coming from all over the country. I've had people stay with me from as far away as Portland, Maine, from Oregon, from Texas, and we are there standing vigil to shine a light. So this country will see what is happening in our name. And I know your heart is with those children, but we need you there. We need your presence to bring the press and to bring our national attention to it.
Thank you. Thank you. So, I'm going to Homestead tomorrow. Come with me. I'll be there. They'll be there. So, let's talk about this for a minute. It's been a year ago right now when we were first hearing about children separated from their parents at the border. I went down to McAllen, Texas, and visited one of these facilities. The one I went to, I want you all to picture this for a minute. It's like a giant Amazon warehouse, only it smelled bad. And I walked in, and on the left were cages, maybe 10 feet wide, maybe 40 feet deep, a toilet back in the corner, cage of men right up against it, another cage and another cage and another cage and another cage, so full people couldn't lie down. That's how tightly packed they were. And on the other side of the room, cage after cage after cage of women. People who were frightened, people who didn't understand what had gone wrong, people who were caught. And then I walked into the main part, much bigger than this space. And that's where the freestanding cages were, the big ones, full of little girls. Another cage over there full of little girls. A cage over here full of little boys. Just children. And they had nothing. They were on a concrete floor. They had aluminum foil blankets. And they were all just sitting. No books, no toys, nothing. And right in the center was a guard tower so that an adult could keep an eye on all these little girls, on all these little boys. There was another cage on down that had the mamas with the little babies, the mamas with the nursing babies. And I talked to them. I talked to a woman who said she had lived in Central America, wanted to stay there, but she gave a drink of water to a police officer, and someone spotted her. And they sent the word to the gangs that she was working with the police. And when the word came back to her, she knew that meant that she and her child would be killed. So she wrapped her baby in a blanket and ran for the border and kept running until she reached what she thought was a country that would provide help. So, this is a bad time in America's history. Our government is supposed to reflect our values. Our government is supposed to keep us safe. But a government that can't tell the difference between the threat posed by a terrorist, a criminal, and a little girl is not a government that is keeping us safe, and it is certainly not a government that reflects our values. Now, there's a lot we need to do. Much of it starts with how we avoid this problem to begin with, how we try to help stabilize the government down in Central America. These governments, we need to be putting more aid, not less aid. Help people, help establish the rule of law, authority, help make it work for people to be able to stay. But treat the people who come here with the dignity and kindness that marks the United States of America. And I want to make just one connection here. I put out a plan earlier this week that says no more private prisons, no more private incarceration for people who are here on immigrant status. No more. And I want to tell you why on this. It's for two reasons. The first reason is that if this government believes it is necessary to lock someone up, that is a government responsibility, and we have a right to hold our government accountable. But there's a second reason. Creating a private prison industry means we've just created one more set of lobbyists in Washington who like the system like it is because they figured out how to make money out of it. We have to shut that down and shut it down now. Yep.
Shut it down! Shut it down! Shut it down! Shut it down! Shut it down!
So tomorrow, I'll go to Homestead. If you can come and join us. If you can't come in person, join us online.